Mama always said I was born on the wild side. One foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming, I could see the warning signs. Mama always said I was born on the wild side. I guess Mama was right. 'Cause when the clock strikes midnight, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, pray the good Lord lifts me higher, singing oh, when they call me home. Singing oh, when they call me home. Gonna ride the lightning. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads, with a pen in his hand and a long list of lost souls. They say he flips a coin forged out of fool's gold. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads. I hope he lets me pass by. When I close my eyes, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, pray the good Lord lifts me higher, singing oh, when they call me home. Singing oh, when they call me home. Gonna ride the lightning, ride the lightning, ride the lightning. Gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, pray the good Lord lifts me higher, singing oh, when they call me home. Singing oh, when they call me home. Gonna ride the lightning. Gonna ride the lightning.
was a beautiful day. The sun beat down. I had the radio on. I was driving. Trees flew by. Me and Del were singing Little Runaway. I was flying. Yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me. Working on a mystery. Going where it leads. Running down a dream.
All right, folks, welcome to the broadcast. We are here tonight in the Mickey Devino 100 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. These guys are just finishing up, about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of practice. As you can see currently on your screen, Mickey Devino out there running some hot laps. Currently sitting as the slowest, but as we saw last night, worked his way up to second place, coming to the final restart. Guy got into him. But he had a fast repair and ended up finishing the race last night. So, to kind of give you guys some information on the race tonight, I got a sweet little board to pop up here. These guys will be running 1.5 miles tonight with 24 degrees banking on the corners and a 5-degree banking on the front and back stretch tonight. So, this series is ran by the Ruff Neck Racing group. So, if you guys are interested after watching some of tonight's race, please make sure to go join the Facebook Ruff Neck Racing, hit sign up, and they can get you all squared away with that. If you guys have any questions throughout the broadcast tonight, please make sure that you leave your comments in there. So, question from last time is, we had during the race last on Monday and the Cup Series, currently Dougie Wagner sitting on the backstretch, towing back to the pits right before qualifying. Do you ladies out there, do you prefer if your guy buys you flowers on a specific event, like Valentine's Day? Or do you prefer when they do it on random occasions, just a random day in the middle of the year? Thumbs up for the holiday, thumbs down if you do not mind if it comes on a random day. So, nothing with a thumbs up, thumb down, just the easiest way to vote in the chat with these guys. About 30 seconds left of practice. And we will get you a beautiful scoring tower here. With your fastest laps, currently John Houston is in the first position during practice, but as we've known from the past, practice does not make perfect. A recap of your race, Gen 6 on Monday, about 5 cautions over the 100-lap race, and your winner, oh, there he is. Mr. Rick Baldwin came out on top as he's hitting the wall during these practice laps. So we are just squaring up practice right now, everybody. And these guys will make the transition to the qualifying. As you can see your practice results, John Houston and that number 28 truck has taken first place in practice. We are gridding up for some qualifying right here. These times are going to be pretty close. A practice was about a second and a half all the way to the slowest guys. So these guys will take to the track. Do expect some folks to just start off in the back and not worry too much. Your first taker for practice is going to be your race winner from Monday night, Mr. Rick Baldwin out of Virginia. And let's see if we can get this background all squared away for you. There you go. A little better. Some of them are colored different, so Number 19, running out of Virginia, your winner from Monday in the Gen 6 series. Mr. Rick Baldwin will take that Toyota to the 24-degree banked corners of Charlotte. He's going to run that high lane all on his first lap. Not worried about getting the fastest lap on that first lap. He is going to wound it all up as he comes around the track. And he is going to go for a heater on the second one. So we are going to go on board with him and see how he does his first qualifying lap.
Kai, I know you're live and I know I'm an idiot, but where the heck is the broadcast link?
It's in broadcast, or it's in links at the bottom, and you are live so they can hear you. So,
I know, I'm very well aware.
Yep, so if you go to scroll all the way bottom of the Discord, go to stream links, it is down there. So.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, folks. That was Mr. Penguin, our race control for the night. And as our race winner, Mr. Rick Baldwin, comes across the line, he is 2/100ths of a second off of Jimmy Pyland. And your new qualifying leader at the time, tying Mr. Pyland for the pole, is Mr. Dougie Wagner. Coming in at a 29.81, that thousandth of a second probably got him the pole right there. And we'll see who else is out on track. It looks like Johnny Hurst has finished up his qualifying at the moment. Mr. Barker, ace himself, coming around for some qualifying laps. The other Barker, Christopher, has taken over the pole, with Chris Phillips rounding up into second place at the current moment. And he just gets a little bit of that wall in iRacing. Even if you take a 0x, that lap will not count. So he will have to stick with that 30.27. Believe Alex Bahiri just finished up his laps. He's currently in the 4th spot. Dalton Steele coming across the line right now for his first lap. And he, little slow, 30.33. Currently sitting in the 14th position in that Monster Energy Toyota. Yes, sir. 45 Toyota must be Tyler Reddick fan. Oh, and he blinks a little bit. This may not count his qualifying lap. As he blinks, the server does not like that. We'll see if it gives it to him here. And I believe it does. Mr. Dalton Steele qualifies at the current moment up in second. And your only other member on track right now is Dale Adamson. He is in the 746, set a lap of 30.40. Curious if this is a second lap or if he's just trying to get some more track time. As he comes around 4, fades up to the middle, trying to keep the lap as short as possible. Does not fade all the way to the wall. And Mr. Dale Adamson has found himself in the 11th position. So, that's it for qualifying. We've got about 40 seconds left here of qualifying, and then these guys will take to the grid. Your pole sitter, though, tonight is going to be the man himself, Mr. Christopher Barker, and we will fix his number real quick. Maybe. Possibly. There we go. The 46 of Chris Barker out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. He is your pole sitter tonight for the Mickey Devino 100. The rest of your qualifiers are going to be up on the board here and on the scoring tower to your left-hand side. Mr. Barker himself does capture himself a Flieger Farm television on the pole award for this week. We are happy to assist them in any of their broadcasting needs whenever they ask us to. If you didn't check it out on Monday night, we did cover for them, and it was a heck of a time. Your grid, though, for tonight, we will go through once we get you a better camera angle of these guys squaring up on the... So, your pole sitter tonight, as we've said already, Mr. Chris Barker in the 46. Dalton Steele will take second. Daniel Love third. Chris Phillips in fourth in that 6 truck. Dougie Wagner Alex Bahiri in 6th. Mr. Jimmy Rowdy Pyland in the 29 truck is in 7th. Rick Baldwin 8th. Johnny Hurst in 9th. And we need to make sure that we are doing qualifying results. Make sure we're doing that. And nope, we don't want that. Hide that, everybody. We don't want to see that. This is your grid. So yes, it is right. Johnny Hurst is in the 9th spot. To his outside, Matthew Gall. Dale Adamson, 11th. And in 12th is Chris Ramsey. Continuing on down the line, Chad Hawkins in 13th. Mr. Matthew Ace Barker rolling off on that 14th position in the 96 truck. Steven Shue in 15th. Mickey Devino in 16th. The fan favorite. 17th, Chris Melton. John Houston, 18th. Tim Richardson in 19th. And to round out your field, the 0-1 of Jeffrey Ledford, who did not set a qualifying time. So as these guys roll off, Chris Barker, your pole sitter, in that beautiful little bright blue and a yellow truck tonight. How's everybody doing tonight? If you guys are out there and you can hear us, leave us some comments. We will have all the sights and sounds of the race from beginning to end. Got some beautiful little commercials going tonight. Nothing too long. Use those times to either watch it and get interested or use the restroom. Hopefully we won't have to use them too much and we will not have a lot of potty breaks. And we are going to get this Mr. James Wagner's Welding Truck Series going here as the back of the field begins to catch up. Bernie is sick tonight, so we do not have Bernie on the flag stand. His cousin Brett will be taking and flying that green flag for us tonight. And we have a beautiful, beautiful little picture-oni for you guys. You hear me coughing, a little sick today, but we're getting it all squared away. And these guys are going to be coming to the flag stand with Bernie's cousin Brett flying that beautiful green flag for us as these guys enter the start finish. And we are green here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Side by side, 2x2, all the way back, going into the first corner. Does look like Christopher Barker got a good run on that outside going into turn 1. Coming out of 2, side by side as he clears Mr. Barker. Going into 3 and 4 here. Does look like Barker's truck is a little upset and he's going to loop it. Do they save it? And that may bring out the caution. 1 into the tire barrier. Caution is out. So, we are going to see what happens here from the beginning. Oh, that is not a good place to call it. Let's find, is this a better place to start it at? See here. Sorry, guys. Doesn't give me a great spot here. All right. This looks like a better one here. And we will go up to Mr. Chris Barker. Looks like he got loose here. All right. And we are going to ride on board here with him and see what happens. So we're in the middle of 3 and 4 right now. Does look like the car got a little upset mid-corner. There is a little bump in that corner as he's going through. This is where he starts to lose it. Chris does a great job of checking up, but behind him, you just see Matthew Gall coming in a little hot. Barker is going to bounce off the front end of Chris, come right up into Gall, and that is going to collect a few folks in this incident. Never a good thing to see at the beginning of one of these races, and Surprisingly, Matthew Gall's truck just hangs right into the inside into those barriers. So our first caution tonight, end of lap 2, coming to 3. Not a good start, but these guys do have some fast repairs. Looks like Barker is having a hard time getting on this pit road, but does make it down. And your leader at the moment is going to be your man that started in second place right now, Mr. Dalton Steele in that 45 Monster Energy, followed by Alex Bahiri in that second spot. Third place, Daniel Love, Rick Baldwin, your winner from Monday night in that 19 McDonald's truck, and Mr. Jimmy Rowdy Pyland sitting in that 5th spot. Currently, your biggest mover, though, is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tim Richardson, who is also out of North Wilkesboro. He is up 8 spots into that 11th after starting. I'm sure that that little accident at the beginning did not help. Chris Phillips going in to get some repairs after that incident does make it out, is showing him currently on the lead lap, and Chris Melton doing the same. Lights are still on in the pace car. Does look like Barker is gonna head into pit road, get a little bit of repair, and maybe just top off on some fuel. A lot of guys taking the fuel strategy route last night. So these guys are going to line up here. Alex is really confused now that Dalton has taken the outside lane. Usually when you have that, someone forgot to call it. Not good for Dalton, though. He's leading this pack, and he is currently blinking. And I just noticed Daniel Love in this beautiful Ford Performance 71 truck. Be kind of weird if he was driving a Toyota or a Chevy, but he is in that Ford F-150. Just trying to see if my mute worked or not. These guys will take the green flag this time by. So Alex on the inside has a little bit of luck when it comes to being able to see that leader, as long as he's got his camera out far enough in there. You guys are going to roll into the middle of 3 and 4. Still have some blinking from your leader, Mr. Dalton, still in that Toyota. You guys are in the chat, leave a thumbs up, leave an opinion. We'll chat about it during a caution. Maybe we won't. Depends on what it is. And Mr. Brett is going to wave our green flag right here. And they are moving. Little shake up in the back. Guys are trying to figure it out. Rick is fighting Alex on the outside spot. Does look like Alex is going to be able to clear him and take over that, clearly that second position. He is up 4 spots from the beginning of this race. As they head into corner 3. They're hopefully going to get this thing all riled up and not fight too hard for position too early in this race. As your leader gets around for a clean lap. We got some battles throughout the pack. Tim's still making his way through this field, up 10 positions in the 9th position. Rolling with his buddy Dougie and that 30 truck. Behind that, Stephen Shue up here, up 2 spots from where he started, getting hunted down by Jeffrey Ledford, going into corner 3. Chris Phillips right behind them, trying to catch up. Running that truck, hopefully didn't have to take a set of tires from that first caution. Chris Barker at the moment, down 15 positions. Really just needs to take it calm here. Not worry too much about getting up through the field. But back up front, your leader, Mr. Dalton Steele, leads these guys into corner number 3. Good little battle. Third back. Dalton and Alex giving each other some space. See what we got here. Going in 2-1 and 2 here. racing pretty good. If you guys get a chance tonight, like, subscribe. We're on our way. We're up about 25 subscribers in a week of broadcasting. If you like it, you love it, make sure you subscribe and leave those post notifications on. Slick little 6-second short today on the channel. Check that out as Mr. Alex Bahiri is trying to fight on the outside for that first position from Dalton. Dalton's truck looks like it's getting a little loose coming off a corner. Rick is trying to push him. He's going to head up right behind Alex. Give Rick that bottom spot. And your new leader as of right now is Alex Bahiri in that 20 Chevrolet as they cross the start-finish line. See what else we got going throughout the field right now. And pretty good little battle right here. Chris Barker making his way through the field. He is up 3 spots from the restart on the inside of Mr. Tim Richardson. Tim is down a couple spots since the last time we've seen him on track. Maybe burned up those tires a little bit, staying full throttle. Mickey Devino chilling back here, trying to avoid the wrecks. He is the honorary member of tonight's race in the Mickey Devino 100. He was your all-star race winner last week at Talladega in these trucks. Dalton Steele does look like he is fighting back for that lead position from Alex Bahiri. They're coming off neck and neck, across the start-finish line. As right behind them, does look like Johnny Hurst and Jimmy Pilen are fighting for that 4th spot. Rick is just planning his next move here. Little bit of a blink from Jimmy. Looks like they got it all figured out. Your current top 7 have broken away, about a 4-second gap to the pack behind them. Your leader of the second pack at the moment is Matthew Gall, who was basically creamed on that first caution. So he took that fast repair. He's got to ride with a lot of safety around this track for the rest of this race. No fast repairs left. So Tim slowly falling back to field. Probably kept it full throttle for a little too long. He is back to the 17th position. Jeffrey Ledford currently up 7 spots from his starting position in that 13th place. We're running the number 01 Toyota. Daniel Love, that beautiful Ford Performance truck, rounds out this front pack of 7 that are up front at the moment. Little bit of a gap. That gap is getting shortened a little bit. They're now only down 3 seconds to Daniel. Chris Phillips finds his way back up after a nasty crash on that first caution. Took some repairs. He is back up into the top 10, hunting down Dougie and Mr. Matthew Gall. And Johnny Hurst currently fighting side by side with Mr. Jimmy Pilen for that 4th position. If these guys keep battling side by side, those top 3 will take off. I think the smart thing here is one of them just let the other go and then hunt down this pack. We're only 17 laps out of 100 at the moment. Mr. John Houston up 6 spots from where he started in the 12th position. Chad Hawkins in that 84 truck running down with some Miller. He's down 3 spots. Chris Melton running out the top of this field. Did have to use a fast repair at the beginning of this race, I believe. So probably just taking it easy through some pit stops. It does look like Dale Adamson got around both Jimmy and Johnny. So he is taken over the 4th spot and he is looking to hunt down this top pack. He is up 7 positions from where he started. We watched the end of his qualifying. And Still your leader at the moment, Alex Bahiri, going into turn 1 in that Duff Beer 20 truck. We're rocking the Chevy tonight. We're going to take you on board right behind him with Rick Baldwin in the 3rd spot. Your winner from Monday night. Does look like the truck isn't floating too bad through the tri-oval. Going into 1, lifting almost until you get halfway through that corner, loosens up just a little bit. You can get those tires on the blue and white line. It will tighten up the truck. Go on board here with Mr. Daniel Love in that 7th spot. Looks like he has just found a good place to sit, chilling right behind Johnny Hurst, not being too aggressive at the beginning of this race. And I had put it on just for Mr. Alex Bahiri, but we are not going to use it because Chris Barker is working his way through the pack at the moment. That beautiful hood cam that we got all worked out. See if we can get a little bit on board with Chris here and the Foothills Motorsports number 6. And back up front, Alex Bahiri is being ran down by Dalton Steele, who's trying to take that lead back at the moment. And we're going to check something real quick. All right, if you guys are new with us, K&S Sim Productions, we were just editing some videos. We were asked to fill in for a broadcast last week, and we are now rocking live 2 nights a week, 3 this week. Tomorrow night, you'll catch us streaming the sister league of Ruff Neck Racing, American Sheepdog, here at Charlotte in the Next Gen cars. We will be doing 100 laps, same as Monday and Wednesday of these guys over here. Currently, kind of newish. Used to broadcast a couple years ago, got out of the game a little bit. But we are back, rolling. If you guys are looking for any broadcast needs, please reach out. We are currently broadcasting Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do have Tuesdays open at the moment. If you guys are looking for a league to race in, Monday nights here at Ruff Neck Racing currently is your Gen 6 series, and Wednesday is your truck series here, sponsored by James Wagner Welding. If you need any welding needs in the North Wilkesboro, North Carolina area, hit up Mr. James. And also heard today that someone may have gotten his Little Debbie box in the mail after we were talking about some cosmic brownies. But through the pack, nothing too crazy. Looks like we are getting some gaps throughout the field. Chris Barker does get past Christopher Phillips. John Houston is trying to work his way around Mr. Phillips at the moment for that 11th position. Your biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots still, Dale Adamson in the 4th. Does look like he has lost a bit of time on the leaders. Top 3. Current top 5 at the moment. Dalton Steele leading your pack as Mickey is coming out of pit roads, taking that first pit. 2nd place, Alex Bahiri in that 20 truck. Followed by Mr. Rick Baldwin in that 3rd position. Dale Adamson following right up behind him in the 4th spot. Jimmy Pilen coming across start finish in that number 29 is currently your 5th spot, and that will round out the top 5. The rest of your top 10, Johnny Hurst, Daniel Love, Matthew Gall, Dougie Wagner, and Chris Barker found his way back in to the top 10. 28 of 100 laps ran in this Mickey Devino 100 at Charlotte. Nothing too crazy. One caution happened a little early. May have mixed up some strategy, kept these guys from getting too hardcore here. Does look like we did have a little bit of a jumble midfield with Steven Shue back through Houston, Hawkins, Barker, Ramsey, Richardson, and Mr. Other Barker. We did have someone fall out of the top 10 after he's just made his way. So I don't see, looks like there's a little bit of rear end damage on Chris's 46 truck. Don't know if that's from an incident earlier, or I know he didn't pit because he would have been a lap down. So we have not started pit stops yet, but they are coming quickly. Back up front, Mr. Dalton Steele has created a gap here on Alex Bahiri, followed by Rick Baldwin, and it does look like Mr. Dale Adamson has driven down Rick Baldwin for that third spot. This battle will entice very quickly. You got a favorite driver? Leave their name in the chat. Let them know you're watching and cheering them on as we continue to follow on throughout the race. Chris Phillips, pretty early in that race, had some issues, but finds himself back into that top 10 with that beautiful nose cam presented by Jackson's. Some other drivers around the field. Steven Shue, 11th. Currently up 4 positions from the beginning of this race. 12th position, John Houston. And the number 28 is up 6 spots right behind Shue. Chad Hawkins currently running in 13th. Maybe a little bit of blink in front of him. He has not lost or gained. Currently in that spot that he qualified in. Jeffrey Ledford running in that 14th, up 6 spots. Tied with John Houston right now with positions gained. Currently Barker is passing Hawkins on the inside. We are pretty sure, I don't know what happened there. It said that, well, some weird things are going on, everybody. Oh, well that's why. Because it was Steven Shue and John Houston currently fighting over the 11th spot. Got a little good gaggle of cars going on right here. Does look like someone is blinking out pretty badly, but Matt Barker is currently in his starting position of 14th. Mr. Ace himself, we see Christina in the chat. Do have a couple blinkers, kind of worried. We do have a taker onto pit road. Jeffrey Ledford and Mr. Chris Barker has hit pit road himself. A little bit early in here. Probably just going to split this race up into thirds. Chris is off. Jeff hits his pit box, making sure he doesn't overdrive going in. Slows it down. He's going to take on 4 tires here and fuel it up. And no other takers yet. Jimmy Pyland has made his way to the pit lane. He is your next pit stop. Dalton Steele up here has created a huge gap on Alex Bahiri here. This is really going to help him if he makes any mistakes going down pit road. He can almost slide through his box and back up and still make it. Don't see anybody taking the pit road out of that top 5 right now. Johnny Hurst is in the 5th position. Don't see any takers this lap. Jimmy is currently coming out. He's gonna go lap down here. And Mr. Tim Richardson finds himself back up 2 more spots from the last time we chatted about him. He is currently running in the 14th position. Maybe saved a little bit. Working on it. Dale has taken over 2nd as your race leader, Dalton Steele, and when he was running on track, Mr. Rick Baldwin follows him. Matthew Gall right behind those folks. And we got our first round of full pit stops from the leaders beginning right now. Going to take on, oh, Dalton blinking a little bit going into his box. Shouldn't hurt too much. He's going to take on 4 tires. Tim Richardson also down pit road. See what this camera looks like, everybody. There we go. He's going to make it off pit road. And your battle for the overall lead is going to start with these pit stops. So Alex was down 1.15 seconds. He comes in a lap later. I don't know if it was the smartest decision. You might see Mr. Dalton Steele. Sorry, everybody. Froze a little bit. Dale Adamson does stay out on track, followed by Mickey Devino. Mickey is trying to race for that lap back right now. So he is on fresher tires. Should catch Dale here, unless Dale decides to pit. Most of these guys should get pit stops back. Does look like Dale is going to come in this time. He's going to let Mickey go around the outside, and Dale is going to pit here. Stays out a little later than the other leaders. Johnny Hurst taking to pit road. John Houston currently staying out. He will assume the lead of this race. Matt Barker also decides to stay out. Had some issues early. Probably has about 2 extra laps of fuel in that thing. Dalton Steele has found himself past Alex by a good margin, and even Rick has created a huge gap back to Alex Bahiri. Alex staying out way too late through this field. Currently sitting in the 3rd position. John Houston is really hoping and praying for a caution here. We're 42 through 100. He gets a caution here. He gets a free pit stop, while almost 2/3 of the field is going to have to go down pit lane to get their laps back. About your top 4 right now are the only ones on the lead lap. So John's going to stay out here, hope for a caution, catch Alex Bahiri, who's trying to get his lap back so he gets a free pit stop. John is going to roll that 28 into turn 1. Going a little slower. Barker, your 2nd place car right behind him. He is also on old tires. Dalton Steele, your effective race leader at the moment. John Houston hitting this 3rd corner though. Might bring it in this time, and he does. Gets off the track nice and clean, and your current leader at the moment is Matthew Barker, who assumes the lead on older tires here though, so he's not going to hold it for too long. Well, it's not too bad for Matt. So Matt currently has a 22-second lead. The leaders are catching him pretty fast, and we have a bumper. That was weird. Guess we had a bumper. Don't know who's. Oh, that's nothing good. So as you see here, Johnny Hurst is rolling really slow. We're going to see what happens here. See if we can go back a little bit here and see what happened to Mr. Hurst. Roll it back a little bit. Maybe just gets a little loose coming out of the corner. I don't know. Oh, yep. So he's about mid-corner, loses it, tries to correct and go straight up into the wall. Didn't bring out the caution though. So he's down pit road as he used his fast repair before. Dalton Steele is your leader, blinking a little bit. Sad to see Johnny out. Hopefully he can get some repairs of that thing, get back out on track. Rick Baldwin is currently in 2nd place in that 19 McDonald's. And right as Mr. Mickey gets his lap back, gonna take it right back, lap him again, and Dalton Steele is on a charge tonight. Currently at the moment, lap time history. Does look like Baldwin is a little quicker. Trying to catch him. He is going to catch the traffic here, so Dalton's going to try and use that to his advantage. Try and break away here as Baldwin is going to have to take some different lines. Looks like he was about 2/10 faster up in the lead. That clean air really helping him out. Your battle for first, 1.3 second gap. Baldwin is up 6 positions from the beginning of this race. And can't forget about our beautiful league sponsors and lift bodies. You need any lifting needs in the North Wilkes-Barre area, make sure you get a hold of lift bodies. Need any real estate in the San Antonio, Texas area? Feel like moving to Texas, getting in that tax-free income and sales tax? Please make sure you make your way to MAG Real Estate. Any admin needs, you are a iRacing fan, please ensure you find your way to admin box. Helps us out a lot. Make sure that we get this all together. Most importantly, your series sponsor, James Wagner Welding. You need any welding needs in the North Wilkes-Barre area, make sure you give them a call and let them know your needs. Currently up front here, following Dalton Steele, Rick Baldwin here. Not really fighting with the 13 too much. Chris is a lap down. Alex Bahiri here in the 3rd position. 4th, Matthew Gall coming across the start-finish line right now. Your 5th position, Jimmy Pilon. Working that high lane, trying to get a run off the corner on Mr. Matt Gall. Dale Adamson running down Jimmy right here. All over the rear bumper. Trying to have Jimmy here make a mistake. Running in the 6th position in that 746 truck. Right behind him, Daniel Love in that 71 Ford Performance Ford F-150. Right behind him, Dougie Wagner. Running down 3 positions in the 8th spot. Still rocking the top 10 though. Jeffrey Ledford, all by him lonesome, up 11 spots though. That 9th position. Rocking that 01 Toyota. Chris Barker, still trying to catch the front of this pack. Got into an early incident, got loose, wrecked a few folks, wrecked himself. Trying to make his way back up to the front of this pack. Steven Shue currently fighting side by side with John Houston for that 11th position, followed by Chris. That doesn't sound right. Johnny Hurst? Oh, Johnny Hurst is back out on track, everybody. Truck looks good. He's just rolling, trying to fight for some lap time to get a lap back. Chris Phillips right behind him, followed by Chris Melton in the 13th and 14th position. Chad Hawkins running in that 15th spot, all by him lonesome. Loving the clean air, though. Don't got to worry about too many incidents around him. Matt Barker, Mr. Ace himself, in 16th position. Tim Richardson right behind him in the 17th position. A lap down. Chris Ramsey in that 13 Ford, following Rick Baldwin. Not worried too much. Him and Mickey Devino are fighting for a lap right now. So Chris is going to take over, and he is going to be a lap ahead of Mickey Devino. Mickey having a hard time with that truck tonight. And Johnny Hurst rounds out your field in the 20th position after that gnarly green flag incident. Current leader, though, back up front. Dalton Steele created a 2-second gap here to Rick Baldwin, and he is all out front by his lonesome. If you guys want to support the K&S Sim Productions journey to live broadcasting and all of our sim production manufacturing as we work on videos, live streams, all that good stuff, and some broadcasting. Please make sure you like and subscribe. If you guys are looking for beautiful and amazing water filters, head down below. Also, if you like some game codes, head down and check out Green Man Gaming. Currently have a on sale little bit for Assassin's Creed Origins. Make sure that you are over the age of 17. Currently sitting at $13.99 on Green Man Gaming. You just buy the code, they send it to you, you put it in, and it's your game. And finally, out of all the support that our stream sees, we thank you guys, and we thank Moza, who helps this whole stream come together. So make sure, if you are in the market for a little bit of a new direct drive sim wheel, you hit the link below. It helps us out, helps you out. $400 R3 bundle at the moment. Cheapest way to get into the belt driven and force feedback racing. Well, it's not belt driven. The direct drive. Direct drive. Don't correct me on that. So we are alongside of Dalton, who has been blinking a little bit. It does look like Tim Richardson is following right behind him, as he had just gone a lap down. He's your first car a lap down. So as long as he can hold that gap to Chris Ramsey, who's 33 seconds behind him, he should have the lucky dog in case another caution. We saw our last pit cycle begin at lap 33. We're currently at lap 59. Where did the time go? Man, this time flew by. John Houston, though, did pit towards the end of that cycle. He's up 9 spots from his starting position, fell to 12th through the pit cycle, and he is currently up 3 positions from that. Alex Bahiri currently just rocking right behind Rick. Rick has created a bigger gap at this point. He is 4 seconds. But right behind Alex, Dale Adamson has ran him down. Dale is doing his darndest to get past him. Right behind them, Matthew Gall. And we have our second caution of the night. So we will get that all wound up for you. And it does look like right after we talked about him, he may have been involved in this. Doesn't look like anything too crazy. Coming off the corner. Oh, he just gets a little loose here. And usually in this moment, it's kind of too late. Does not look like he did anything to try and react to the car. He did take the tow, though, so he is going to be waiting a little bit. He does come back up the track after that bumper comes. We'll see if he gets it locked down before he hits the top of the racetrack. Chris Melton and Steven Shue both make it by him. Chris Phillips heads to the bottom of the track, bounces off the wall and holds it down and only collects himself. This will not be a penalty for him from re-race control, as he only collected himself. So way to lock it down there. And we are going to definitely see a round of pit stops here from everybody. And we want to get all the action onto pit road. You should see everybody. Tim's going to stay out and get that lucky dog. Your wave rounds may stay out here as well. He's going to lead them onto pit road. Let's see if Rick Baldwin has anything for him on this pit stop. See if I can get you guys a better camera here. And we're in. They're going to take 4 tires here. Quick pit stop. Take some fuel. If you hear my wife coughing in the background, I am sorry. She's not feeling great today. We're both not feeling great today. Barker may take 2 here. Mr. Chris Barker may take 2 to try and get off. Rick Baldwin gets, but does look like Dalton Steele is going to beat him off pit road. And Alex does follow him. Matthew Gall just beats out Dougie Wagner. Pyland here in the 6th position. Chris Melton, Stephen Shu go up into your top 5 and 6th and 7th spot. Dale Adamson with a terrible pit stop though was doing really good, and he comes out 9th. Looks like the same fate would have it with Mr. Daniel Love in the 10th position, who was up pretty good. And the only member we are missing from this race is John Houston, who is going to take repairs. Might have that fast repair in the bank, but that we are only on our 2nd caution. So does look like someone may have stayed out. So Chris Ramsey and Johnny Hurst are both going to luck out on the wave around for this pit stop. So they are going to take service. Tim Richardson did get lucky enough to get the lucky dog, so he's going to take service here. Gets basically a free pit stop, and he will be on the same set of tires as those on the lead lap. And we will be right back.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
New from Lincoln Logs, the Redwood Junction building set. Redwood Junction has over 230 pieces, including train track, 3-piece train, 3 figures, and real wood Lincoln Logs pieces, just like you remember. Lincoln Logs are easy to hold and stack so your little builder can explore and play, and when he's done, he'll have fun taking apart his creation. Each set comes with a step-by-step instruction sheet to help you get started. This authentic Lincoln Logs set lets you and your children build memories together.
And we are back right at the choose cone. Does look like Mickey is going to stay out and get that lap back. So Dalton Steele is current year leader. He is going to take the bottom side on this restart. Up on his outside is Rick Baldwin, starting in the 2nd position, followed by Alex Bahiri, Matthew Gall, James Wagner, who rounds out your top 5. Jimmy Pyland, Chris Melton, Stephen Shu, Dale Adamson, and Daniel Love round out your top 10. If you got a favorite driver, leave it in the chat. Let us know if you got a favorite driver out there. And also, leave a thumbs up if you love the broadcast. If there's anything that I can do to make your broadcast watching experience any better, please let me know. We are going to be going to green at lap 66, so we will have 35 laps left. And I think Cousin Steve's been a little lazy tonight. He's only had to wave it a few times. So we're going to put him to work here, everybody. And we're going to let you listen to some beautiful sounds. And it does look like we did have one driver who may have gotten a little loose or a little bit of help. Goes down a pit road in the most unwelcoming way. It is the 13 of Chris Ramsey, comes across the nose. There's nothing he can do to save it. Almost saves it and just taps that inside wall in the pit road. Locks it up. Hopefully making it to his pit box here. And back up front. 2x2 for the 3rd and 5th position. Dalton Steele is currently your leader of this race. Go on board here with Mr. Matt Barker. And where'd our ticker go? Probably help if we went back live, huh, everybody? We were live, but, you know, weird system. So we're going to get you on board with the fan favorite here. One of the fan favorites, Mr. Matt Ace Barker, currently in the 12th position, following that number 84 of Chad Hawkins. Goes to the inside, upsets Chad's truck just a little bit. See here if he can make the pass. And that was on board with Mr. Matthew Barker. Does make the pass. Noses out just a little bit. We got a little bit of an incident, and Matthew Gall is going for a ride. We're going to have a caution here, folks, and it is going to collect quite a few people. So we're going to go back and take a look at that. It's coming off the wall. Looks like this thing does start with Dougie. So we're going to see if we can get a better camera angle here. All right. This should be able to see. Gets into the wall. Maybe Matthew Gall just runs him up a little high. Looks like Dougie's does a pretty good job of just keeping it in the wall through this incident. Chris Phillips comes down, gets into the 71. And 71 goes straight up into the wall. As that right rear of Chris pounds off the wall. 78 is coming back down the track, but I do think he saves it before he hits anybody else. See what the 71 does here. Steven Shue just misses. Nope. Collects him. And just a little spin for him. So nothing terrible for Steven. Shouldn't need any repairs on that truck. Not a lot of pit service going on. You got Chris Phillips, Matthew Gall, James Wagner, and Steven Shue, Dale, Tim, and Daniel Love. Believe he has a fast repair in the bank still, though. Back up front, your leader at the moment, Dalton Steele, and we will be right back.
Some of you will fly the fastest planes that have ever been built, reach the highest altitude that man has ever gone to.
Whether you serve in the skies above or on the ground below, each of you has stepped forward to defend your country.
The American people support you, and they believe you truly do represent the best of America.
Today we recognize the soldiers before you for the successful completion of their basic training. This time we would like the family members and loved ones to move forward and put on your soldiers' Army 1-Star badge.
Proud of you.
Ruff Neck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
We are back, and these guys will line up 2x2 with the one to go this time by. We want to thank our series sponsor, Wagner Welding. If you need any welding needs in the North Wilkesboro area. Paul Walters. Oh, yeah. We saw you in there, Penguin. Yeah, we saw you in here, man. You're chilling with us for a second, asking us all sorts of questions. But hello to you guys and everybody in the stream. As I was saying, you need any welding needs in the North Wilkesboro area, hit up James Wagner's Welding, series sponsor, and also sponsors our Monday Night League. Also, if you guys can, leave a like and a subscription as we are on our way to 100 subscribers. Oh, that's awesome. I did fix the commercial though. It plays in both ears now. I don't know if I just got it like that, but it was only playing in one ear when I got it. So I went through and worked a little magic on the editing stuff, and now I got it in both ears. So hopefully if you guys saw it at home and it was good to go, leave a thumbs up, say heck yeah, and these guys are gonna go green this time. So RC, if you're ever in the chat, let these guys know what happened, what the ruling was on any incident. We do go back and watch them, but we don't know what race control sees. You might see more than we do. But you know who sees the most? Our famous flag stand man, Steve, who is in for Bernie tonight. Bernie decided to call in sick right before the race started. So he is going to wave this green flag for us tonight. And this is our third caution of the night, and these guys are going to go green. Dalton still gets a good jump here. Rick is on the inside of Alex going into turn one. Little scrape of the wall back there. Everything's good to go. These guys are 2x2 all the way back behind your leader, Dalton still in that 45 Toyota. Does look like Rick is going to make it past Alex here going into turn three. Alex might be able to wind it up coming out of the corner. Alex gets a good run here. Clears him. Uh-oh. Maybe a little bump back here to the 84. Collects himself. Gets it all squared away. 71 does make it out back on the track on the lead lap. Had his fast repair. Okay, so your last incident, according to race control, was a little bit of net code. So no one's at fault. And it was just a racing incident. And back up front, Alex Bahiri has found a monster run. He is currently on the outside of your leader, Dalton Steele. These guys are going to have 34 laps to go here in the Mickey Devino 100, presented by Ruff Neck Racing and K&S Sim Productions. K&S Sim Productions, all your editing and broadcasting needs. We are currently open on Tuesdays for broadcasting. If you wish to get some broadcasts, let us know in the chat and we will reach out to you. Alex Bahiri, though, battling for this first place with the 45 of Dalton Steele. Looks like he's going to diamond out of the corner here, try and get a run off. Dalton's truck, though, that 45 machine has been fast all night. Rick Baldwin getting a little pressure from Jimmy. Jimmy takes the inside here. And those left side tires on that blue and white line give you a little bit of extra grip in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rick is going to clear him using that outside lane, but Jimmy just comes back up alongside him. Another guy who's made his way back up to the front, Chris Phillips, running right behind these guys in the 5th position. Saw early issues in this race worked him way all the way back up. The current biggest movers up 11 spots are Chris Melton, who is up to 6th position, and Jeffrey Ledford in that 0-1 is also up 11 positions from his starting position. So they are tied for your biggest mover of the race. Tim Richardson laying low, trying to avoid maybe another possible caution. Doesn't want to burn up those tires. He did get the lucky dog 2 cautions ago. Matthew Gall and Mr. Chad Hawkins, or that is not Chad, that is Chris Ramsey. Chad Hawkins is down pit road. Looks like he did wreck, so we're going to go back and watch this. Gets coming to pit road, maybe coming in a little hot. Tries to enter on that 3 side. No, just exiting, leaving pit road. Just stops it on the track. No caution though. Ooh, a little bit of racy here for the lead and behind. Chris Phillips trying to make the move. Does look like Dale gets a little upset. Hitting below that blue and white line, upsets that car. So he's not going to be able to make a run at Chris coming out of 2. Rick Baldwin, really the starter of this second mini pack. Chris right on the right corner of Jimmy, trying to upset it. Gonna just narrowly miss that wall. Alex Bahiri in the 2nd spot, just following right behind the 45 for that lead position. See what we got going on here. Cameras do not like me tonight. There we go. Coming out of 2 here. Some side-by-side racing. Most of the field is single file. Jimmy Pylan has made his way onto the inside of Adam, but Adam is using that high lane to get the runoff of the corner onto the straightaway, and he's going to make his way past Jimmy Pylan for that 5th position. Your leader, currently Dalton Steele in the 45 Toyota, has built himself a little bit of the gap to not only Alex Bahiri, but that 2nd pack. Alex is about half a second back. Rick Baldwin in the 3rd position is about 1.3 seconds back. Like I said, starting to begin that second little pack right there. Neck and neck all the way back to the end of this pack is not him. Tim Richardson, Johnny Hurst, and John Houston, both a lap or a couple laps down, following up this pack, not trying to cause any issues for Tim or any of the guys up there. Jimmy and Chris Phillips is up to 5th position. Slides right on up to make the corner entrance going into 3. Adamson and Baldwin are side by side. They're catching Alex Bahiri pretty quickly though. Adams is trying to make that move. Rick gets a little bit of the side draft on Adamson. Adamson really using up that top lane though, and Chris Phillips is trying to follow him through. Chris not going all the way up to the wall, gets that car loose, hits the wall. Straightens it out though. When you do that, you really have to fade to the wall. You got to leave that inside car enough space. Just turn it down just there. There we go. Let me know if it gets too quiet over there. No caution though. Chris Phillips keeps it contained. Alex Bahiri gets ran down by Adamson here, and they're going to have a battle for the 2nd position. Alex is running a little too hard at the beginning of these runs on these tires. Full throttle in it. Right behind them, 71, making his way past Jimmy Pylan. Matt Barker trying to make his way right behind him. Alex is going to cover off that top lane. On 3rd place, Dale. And Dalton Steele is really loving this battling right now. He's creating a bigger and bigger gap as this run goes on. Alex is currently 1.2 seconds off the leader. Dale's going to try and upset Alex coming out of this corner just a little bit. He's going to shoot to the inside, going here into the third corner. And they're going to battle side by side, neck and neck for that second position. Alex covers him off though, using that high lane. Doesn't allow Dale to come all the way up until they're already on the straightaway. Dale's going to lose a ton of time there. He's going to re-engage, reassess, re-attack. You really got to set up these passes 1 or 2 laps ahead of time. They don't just come to you like they used to. A couple more battles throughout the field. Does look like Jeffrey Ledford is the front car in front of Steven Shue and John Houston for that 10th position. And it looks like the Barkers are side by side at the moment, racing hard right here for the 8th position. I believe Chris is just going to get him by a nose for this lap, and he does. Fighting side by side. See here. We can find any more gold. Looks like Chris Melton, who did start towards the back, your biggest mover, currently in the 4th, fighting Dale for the 3rd and Alex for the 2nd position. He is up 13 and across the line, still up 13 spots. Hasn't made a move quite yet. Dalton Steele rolling up here by himself in that Monster Energy 45 Toyota. Alex, though, is currently taking on a lot of pressure. See a little bit of battling all the way back there between John Houston and Steven Shue. Don't know why John Houston's battling that hard. No, he's trying to become the first car a lap down, but do believe he's a couple laps down. We want to make sure that you guys see all the excitement. And we also want to make sure you know our honorary driver of the night, Mickey Devino, running by himself at the moment. Just hanging out, making sure he's not causing any problems. So if you guys get a chance, leave a little, "Hey Mickey, you're so fine," in the chat. Dalton Steele is going to pass the line with 6 laps to go. Hoping he does not see a caution towards the end of this. We are having an awesome battle here for almost 2nd position. Chris Melton is still trying to work that inside line on Adamson. Adamson just really gets a run coming out of the corner, and it doesn't allow Chris Melton to come out to the wall. Chris Barker battling side by side with Mr. Jimmy Pilon right now for that 6th spot. Saw a little bit of an incident in the beginning of this race. Got it all whirled up. And we do have a caution. See where... Does look like it involves some of the leaders here. So we are going to go back, see what happens. Does look like Adamson is a little loose coming out of the corner. Might just be a little bit of the skew on the car. See what happens. Looks like a little bit of neck code. Maybe Chris could have given him a little room. But does look like it's just looks like it's a racing incident. Nothing too crazy. Rick Baldwin is going to take to pit road here, as well as Chris Barker. So they're really going to have the advantage here on 1st and 2nd. Not a lot of guys staying out. I don't know if this is going to be the move for these top 2. At the rest of your field, Jimmy Pilon, Daniel Love stay out. I think Alex and Dalton are just waiting on the pace car, but a lot of your field is pitting right now. So you see Chris Barker there. He had made his way up. These guys are going to try and take some fresh tires here. And this is going to be a green-white checkered. 4 tires. Man, I think Alex Bahiri did make the same mistake of not taking new tires towards the end of last race. He had a really good 3-second lead with about 20-ish laps to go on Monday night. Didn't take any of that. And we got 2 more B-rolls. I use this time to catch your breath and let you guys use the restroom, whatever you need to do, and we will be right back.
Then I wouldn't get to work on one of these!
Never knew how strong I was.
I figured I'd never get out of my hometown.
Or be the one who stops an attack.
Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
Walls are barriers. They divide, separate, segregate. We've seen walls before. They always fall.
So, while we were away for that short commercial break, we did have someone show on here that they did crash. It's showing Dalton Steele, but I think he just decided to cut the apron and it qualified him as a little bit. Yeah. Whenever you see that, it's not the driver's fault. They clipped the apron just a little bit. He blinks a little bit. Going back up front here. So the other thing that we saw was not a very smart move. Jimmy Pilon here decided to hit pit road on the second go around. So all these drivers that pitted in front of him all the way up to Daniel Love and Rick Baldwin are on fresh tires. This is going to send Jimmy Pilon all the way to the rear of this field, and I don't think we're going to see too much of a fight out of him. Your current top 5 though: Dalton Steele, Alex Bahiri, Daniel Love, Rick Baldwin, and new to the top 5, Mr. Christopher Barker. The Barker boys running 5th and 8th tonight. Little bit of issues at the beginning of this race, but they have clawed, they have scratched all the way to the front, but not as much as this guy. Mr. Jerry Ledford is your biggest mover right now. He's currently up 13 positions from the start of this race, and he is going to restart 7th on this restart. We thank you for tuning in for this complete race with K&S Sim Productions. We will be back tomorrow night for the ASDR Cup Series and the Next Gen cars here at Charlotte. 100 laps, a little bit less of fuel, and I'm even thinking about taking away a tire set. So we had a vote this week. Wanted to see if these guys wanted to race the road course instead. They all said oval. It was pretty close, actually. It was 15-10. Wanted to switch it up a little bit, but at the moment, your leader, Dalton Steele, running with this Ruff Neck group in the James Wagner Welding Truck Series here at Ruff Neck Racing. You need any welding needs in the North Wilkesboro area in North Carolina, give these guys a shout, and they got you covered. Other sponsors that help us: Mag Real Estate out of San Antonio, Texas, and Admin Box. Sorry, we are brain fungi today, a little sick. So Mr. Brett is going to take a break for this one. Want to get you guys all the good views on this restart. Dalton Steele gets a good run on those old set of tires, spins out just a little bit, corrects it. But Rick Baldwin pushing on the bumper right now of Alex Bahiri. He wants to be patient here, though. He wants to make sure he makes a pass, but he also wants to make sure he doesn't cause a wreck. If we get to this white flag, we will race to the end of this race. Alex slides up the track. Rick Baldwin backs out of it just a little bit. We got a wreck in the back, and the caution will fly before these guys hit it. So we will have another green-white checkered. see what happens here. Coming out of 4, Chris Melton might have got a little antsy on that one. Get you a better view here, everybody. See what truly happens. Yep. Little bit of net code. Usually you don't just see the corner slide. He did, it was going to happen, but it does look like net code might have been a little bit of a factor in this one, because you usually don't see that bumper slide off and then the caution wave. We're going to go caution for, or commercial free for the rest of this race. Your current top 5, Dalton Steele, Alex Bahiri, Daniel Love. Chris Barker is up another spot, up into the 4th position, 5th. He's still in 5th. Him and Rick are just having some fun. These guys are going to go around a little bit. And while we are at it, we want to thank our final sponsor for this league, Lift Bodies. If you need any lifting needs in the North Carolina area, hit up Lift Bodies. Make sure you get all of your lifts taken care of. I am seeing some folks are wrecking on the track. Let's see what this is all about. I don't know what's going on with iRacing, but nope, we're gonna go back. Gotta hit the play button here, Kai. Chris is up wide. I don't know, maybe they were just going too slow and iRacing is playing it as a wreck. Oh, Chris Melton just stops on the track, comes down, and cleans John Houston out. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe he was letting people by, but he just brakes on the track. You can't do that, guys. You guys are letting people go by. You can go slower, but make sure, honestly, for me, I just stay in the bottom lane and they pass me on the outside. So involved in that was Chris Melton and John Houston. Looks like Chris Ramsey might have got a little bit of damage off of that as well. Not a good thing though, man. Not a good time. The current leader, still Dalton Steele, dominated most of this race. Him and Alex Bahiri are going to start on old tires here with a slew of cars behind them, starting on old new tires as of like 3 laps ago. These guys do not see lights out on the pace car quite yet. So while we're doing it, why don't we run through the quick field real quick? Maybe catch some of your favorite drivers. So, first position, Dalton Steele out of Ohio. Alex Bahiri in the 2nd place in that 20 Chevrolet. In the 3rd position, number 71 in that Ford Performance Ford, Daniel Love. Rick Baldwin in 4th in that beautiful McDonald's 19. Christopher Barker in the Foothills Motorsport 46 truck. Steven Shue currently running 6th position in that 00. Your biggest mover of the race right now from North Wilkesboro, Jeffrey Ledford in that 01. In the 8th position, Matthew Barker, Mr. Ace himself, is running that 96, up 6 positions from the start of this race. Jimmy Pilon is currently in the 9th position in that 29 Goodwrench truck. Matthew Gull currently rounds out your top 10 in that 78. 746, Dale Adamson is up into 11th. Mickey Devino back on the lead lap, up into the 12th spot. Tim Richardson is out of North Wilkesboro as well in the 13th. Chris Phillips in the 14th back here. Chris Melton is currently off track after that incident. John Houston takes a little bit of repairs. He is still a couple laps down and he is in the 16th, now the 15th position. Johnny Hurst currently running in the 17th, few laps down after all that damage at the beginning. Chris Ramsey in that 13th is 18th right now. And Chad Hawkins is off track, running in the 19th. Dougie Wagner, he is off track for the night, and do not assume he will be back. These guys will get riled up for another green-white checker to attempt. Behind your leader, Dalton Steele, and your outside leader, Alex Bahiri, here at Charlotte. Next week, Truck Series and Cup Series are headed to my favorite track, Homestead. If you're not ripping the wall or you're doing anything at all, that's how I slogan it. So we are going to get a green-white checkered here. The lights are out on the pace car as these guys head into the middle of 3 and 4. '71 already getting a little antsy on the back bumper of that 45. These guys really need to watch out for the checkup, though. And Brett is back. He is taking his lunch break for tonight. He is back for this green-white checkered, and he is going to fly your green flag for this green-white checkered attempt. Dalton Steele gets out to another good lead here. Alex Beery tries to cut the nose, upset the car. The 71 slides back up the track. These guys need to make it to the white flag. Rick Baldwin battling really hard on those fresh set of tires. Alex Bahiri is on the outside of 3 wide. The 71 is going around. Is he going to save it? He's going to come down. Oh, and Rick Baldwin and the 45 are together. This race is going to count. They made the white flag. Big wreck. Alex Bahiri is coming out of 2 right now on this old set of tires. There are no cautions here on the white flag lap. Currently, Alex Bahiri is in the first position, followed by Chris and Jeffrey Ledford. Your top 3, Jeffrey is up 17 spots, but Alex Bahiri coming out of 4th, really on this old set of tires. He's going to go on to win the Mickey Devino 100 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway after a gruesome wreck come into the line on the 1 to go. And we are going to go back and watch it and make sure you guys see all of the results. See here. Not good. We're going to find it, everybody. All right, so the 71's loose coming out of the corner here, and we will see what happens. These guys are coming to the white flag. Rick is on the quarter panel already of Dalton, and Dalton comes down just a little bit. He's going to collect them. These guys are going to bump up into each other after the 29 already went for a ride. Rick and Dalton just bounce off each other again. This turns Dalton Steele. Sends Dalton up into the wall. Steven Shue trying to do his best, but gets collected by the left rear. And it's just chaos from there. Matthew Gall trying to avoid it. Just gets down into Johnny Hurst. Not what you love to see. But back to the live. We are going to check for... Looks like the only person who decided to stay out tonight is Jeffrey Ledford. So we are going to get these guys into the booth after we go over these results. First place, Chris Barker. Dalton Steele in second. Daniel Love third. Chris Phillips fourth. Mr. Wagner run it all the way up to fifth after that. Oh, these are not the right results. Let's go back. Try it again, folks. Do this every race. Alex Bahiri, Chris Barker, Jeffrey Ledford, your top 3. Dale Adamson in 4th. Matt Barker up to 5th. Rick Baldwin 6th. 7th, Matthew Gall. Mickey Devino in the Mickey Devino 100 makes it all the way up to his number place in the 8th position. Tim Richardson, and to round out your top 10 is Steven Shue. And we will be right back with all of your interviews. All right, so we are good to go. Want to make sure that we get this all squared away. Your interviews for the night are going to be brought to you by Mag Real Estate. So our first interview of the night is going to be with your third place finisher in the 0-1 of Jeffrey Ledford. Jeffrey,
hey,
man, what a last lap, man. It was crazy. What was it like from your point of view?
oh man, it was wild. It's like the seas parting there when that wreck happened, and I was just trying to get through there, and then I saw my teammate in front of me, and I was like, just stay on his bumper and hope we can catch him. But hey, second, third for Foothills, I'll take that. Hey, my other two guys, Chris Phillips and Steven Shue, got some wrecks and ended up missing it. I was hoping we all four get out front there.
Well, man, it was a race. It was little cleaner than Monday. I know that there was quite a few guys collected, but the most important thing that I have to ask you, how do these trucks run here compared to the Cup cars?
The thing I really like about this, the most recent patch they had put in, a few months ago, is it seems like how you drive it really makes a difference on how the truck does on a long run. I was having a lot of trouble overdriving it, so mine was getting tight. Chris Barker was complaining about his getting too loose, and it's just different driving styles leading to different outcomes. For me personally, I love the first 15 laps on a set of tires because I could really get up there on that high line and just send it. But it's a lot of fun. It's everybody can do different strategies. You can save tires, you can go. It really makes a lot of fun in the race.
Well, before we let you thank everybody that you need to thank, Homestead next week, how you feeling?
I like Homestead pretty good. It's got a lot of similar characteristics to this with different grooves. Me predominantly, I love that high line anyway, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the last thing we let you do in the interview is thank all of those friends, families, and sponsors, and the floor is yours, my friend.
I want to thank, first and foremost, I want to thank James Wagner's Welding. Awesome guy. He's been around there for me for even before I got into iRacing. He does a lot for this league behind the scenes for people, the league, individuals. He does a lot for everybody here. So I want to thank him a lot. Mag Realty for coming on board and being a sponsor this year. I want to thank them. I want to thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast. I watched a little bit of it before we got to racing. I get distracted, so I have to close it out and go back and watch it later. But, the broadcast is just looking phenomenal. I want to thank my team, Foothills Motorsports. I've kind of had a rough season, been in and out, just kind of took some time off. And this is my first race back for a couple weeks. And, it felt good. We had fun again. And that's what it was about. So I enjoyed it. Then I want to thank my girlfriend. She was able to watch a lot of the race tonight. So I want to thank her for watching. I got some friends of mine that, was popping in watching as well. So I want to thank all of them for coming in and watching and rooting me on.
Well, good luck to you next week at Homestead. I hope we get to see you up here in the broadcast booth once again next week. Congratulations to Jeffrey Ledford on his third place finish.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
All right. And not too much of a stranger to finding himself up to the podium, but what a wild way to do it. Chris Barker, man, how was that last lap?
It was wild, man. When I seen him getting loose, I just backed off. I knew what it was going to be. I was just trying my best to get through there without getting caught.
Well, at the beginning of this race, there looks like there was like
a boo-boo.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a boo-boo, but we all make them, man. But how did the truck feel in the dirty air tonight after you fell from the front?
It was pretty tough behind. It was super loose. Like that turn one, I was being easy on it, and it just, I don't know, it just went around. But I went below somebody on the apron there, and they squeezed me down, and it done something to my rear, and I don't know why. I had no traction. Like, it was just burning the tires coming out of the turn. So I short pitted there and took tires and thought maybe I could gain a few positions. And luckily the caution come out. I was able to get my optional repairs taken care of. If it wasn't for that, I would have been running way back all night.
Well, the top 10 was full of members from North Wilkesboro County. So I'm sure there's going to be some fun festivities at the house, talking about it in the chat of Discord and all that good stuff. But most importantly, this is the time you got to thank all the friends and family, and the floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, yeah, I got to thank my team, Team Foothills. It was a fun race tonight. I wish Steven, I think he had it won there when everybody went loose, and he just got caught up in the madness. Phillips, he got wrecked out too there. He had a good truck tonight. He had a real good shot at it, just bad luck. Jeffrey, glad to finally see him on a podium, man. I know he's tickled to death. Got to thank James Wagner, Matt Gall, the sponsors. You, man, you're doing an awesome job. Thank everybody running this league. They're doing a great job also, man.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at Homestead. It was one heck of a night. Good luck to you next week, and hopefully we see you up in this broadcast booth again Monday and Wednesday.
Yes, sir. I'll probably be there. And real quick, I forgot, I got to thank my wife and kids, man. They put up with me playing this stuff.
Oh, my wife puts up with me broadcasting now. She's a gamer, so she's got to listen to it the whole time. All right, man. You have a good night, and God bless you, man.
Too. You too. Thank you.
All right. Well, this man has found himself in the booth twice in a week. After some troubles on Monday, Alex, you found your rhythm on Wednesday, a crazy last lap incident. What was it like from your eyes?
Dude, so like I was on old tires, keep in mind, like I was just hoping to hold out, maybe get second or third. And they get by me, or I think Rick got by me on the bottom. And now I'm looking at them. Now Dalton's kind of getting sideways, and I'm like, hold on now. What's about to go down? Dude, I kind of went to the outside just a little bit. And as I saw them go down to the bottom as they're wrecking, I'm like, please don't hit me coming up the track. But, dude, I looked at my mirrors after I got cleared, and there was no one there. And then I was like, all right, I think I got it in the bag.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy last lap. Not just from your point of view, but, dude, it shuffled the entire top 3. The entire top 10 was shuffled.
Yeah.
All the way on that last lap. You did an amazing job. I even admitted it. I thought you made a mistake not taking tires again like you did not too long ago with that last caution. Did you really focus behind you when people were pitting and you were kind of like, or were you like, we're going to stay out and try and win this thing from the front?
Well, actually, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to go in, because the whole way around on that last caution, I was telling me let the pace car by, and I'm thinking, like, if I go in, will I get penalized? So I kind of just saw Dalton. He didn't go in, so I kind of just stayed out, followed what he did. And, once those other guys got their black flags cleared, I was like, oh, that's it. We're screwed. But I guess we just got lucky, or I got lucky. Sorry to him for getting wrecked out. Kind of sucks. He ran a good race, but I was just unsure what to do at that time. I didn't really know if I wanted to go in or stay out.
Well, before we get to the next segment of this interview with you, Homestead next week, man, is it new for you? Are you excited for it? It's a run the wall kind of track.
Dude, I don't know. I don't even have Homestead. I'm gonna have to practice it, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
it looks fun.
Well, the most important thing of every interview and finishing first, you get all the shout outs, and I'm going to leave the floor to you, Mr. Alex, and that beautiful number Duff Beer 20. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right. As always, shout out to Mr. James Wagner of James Wagner Weldon for allowing us to have this fun. Shout out to Duff Beer for blessing my car in those last laps, 'cause I don't know how I survived. Shout out to John Houston for being my guide for strategy throughout the race. And yeah, shout out to all the admins hosting the event.
Well, we look forward to seeing you up here once again next week when we hit it 100 laps at Homestead. Congratulations to you, Alex. Good job. Way to stick with it and finish out the race. And hopefully we see you up here next week, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to be the end of my time. Once again, we will pull up the results for you so you can see where all of your favorite drivers finished. What a race. What a last lap. I was really certain that we may see a caution come when that wreck started, but they did not get sideways till the end of that thing. So we hope to see you guys here next Wednesday with us in the Ruff Neck Truck Series. We're heading to Homestead, baby. It's going to be a wild ride. Catch you on the flip side. Also, tomorrow, if you are looking for a race to watch, ASDR Cup Series Sister League of Roughneck is here at Charlotte in the Next Gen Cars. No fast repairs. Everyone, have a good night and